You think you're ready. You've watched the tutorials, read the books, even found a few winning trades that boosted your confidence. Maybe you feel like you're standing at the gates of freedom. Money, time, control. That mythical lifestyle where you sip coffee in the morning and make thousands by afternoon. But let me tell you something most people will never say out loud. You're not ready. Not for the whispers in your head when your trade turns red. Not for the stomach drop when your perfect setup fails. Twice. Not for the sleepless nights after a day where you watched everything fall apart while doing everything right. Because this game isn't just charts and candles. It's you, your mind, your emotions, your shadows. No one warns you about the identity crisis, how trading will rip the mask off your discipline, your self-worth, your ability to handle uncertainty. This isn't just about money. It's about the parts of yourself you never met until they came crashing down after a series of losing trades. It's about control, validation, fear, greed, and the relentless search for meaning in every tick of a chart. You see the Instagram traders flexing wins. You hear the stories of 10x returns. But what you don't see? The anxiety, the breakdowns, the obsession, the lies they tell themselves to justify over-leveraging, over-trading, revenge trading. You don't see the people who blew up their accounts and their lives and walked away in silence. And here's the truth that hits hardest. The market doesn't care about you. It doesn't reward effort. It doesn't respond to your pain, your hope, or your strategy if your psychology is out of control. You might think your system will save you, that risk management will protect you. But if your emotions hijack the wheel, none of that matters. This is the part no one likes to admit. Trading will expose everything you've suppressed, the unresolved trauma, the control issues, the validation hunger, your self-worth tied to your P&L. And if you don't face it, it will destroy you, slowly, quietly, until you either walk away bitter and broke, or you crack open and start facing the dark side. This script, it's not a strategy guide. It's not a pep talk. It's a mirror. One you might not like to look into, but absolutely need to if you're going to survive this path. We're going to walk through it together. The self-sabotage, the denial, the emotional whirlpools, the identity crises, the mental games you play with yourself. You're going to see that what's killing your trades isn't the market, it's you. But in that same truth, you'll also find power. Because the moment you finally see the dark side is the moment you stop running from it. And that's when transformation begins. Chapter 1. The Siren's Call of the Charts. Let's be honest. You're here because you saw the promise. You saw the life, the freedom, the quiet confidence of someone who has cracked the code. You saw the clean desk with the multiple monitors, the glowing green numbers signifying a victory that you, and you alone, achieved. It wasn't about the noise of a trading floor. It was about the silent intellectual conquest, the ultimate meritocracy. Just you against the world, and you, with your unique insight, were going to win. You've probably seen the ads, the gurus on Instagram, leaning against a rented Lamborghini, talking about a simple 3-step strategy. You scoffed at them, of course. You're smarter than that. Your path isn't going to be so crude, so obvious. No, your path is one of sophisticated analysis. You've read the books, the classics. You understand candlesticks, moving averages, maybe even a little Elliott wave theory. You feel a thrill, a sense of belonging to a secret club of knowledge. This is the first hook, the intellectual seduction. It's not just about the money, you tell yourself. It's about the puzzle. The market is the most complex, most dynamic, most fascinating puzzle ever created, and you've decided you're going to solve it. And the reward for solving it? It's not just wealth, it's ultimate validation. Proof that you are in fact smarter, faster, more disciplined than the rest. You open your first trading account. The process is clean, digital, almost sterile. You wire the money, a sum that feels significant but not life-altering, an amount that you're willing to lose, or so you repeat the old mantra. But are you? Are you really willing to see that number, which represents hours of your life, your labor, your past, just vanish? You push the thought aside. This isn't gambling, you reassure yourself. This is calculated risk, speculation based on evidence. Your first few days are a blur of watching. You see the charts move, the ebb and flow of red and green. It's hypnotic. It's a living, breathing entity, and you're learning its language. You paper trade for a bit, and it feels hollow. There's no skin in the game. The wins don't thrill you, and the losses don't sting. So you decide it's time to make your first real move. You've done your homework. You've identified a pattern, a setup that looks just like the ones in the textbook. The relative strength index is oversold. There's a bullish divergence on the MACD. A hammer candle has formed right on the 50-day moving average. It's perfect. It's beautiful. It's a confluence of signals that screams, buy. Your heart starts to pound. This is it. This is the moment where theory becomes reality. Your finger hovers over the mouse. The number on the screen, your buying power, seems to stare back at you, questioning you. Are you sure? You take a deep breath, trying to calm the adrenaline surging through you. You are a creature of logic, a student of the market. You are not a gambler. You click the button. Order filled. The words are so simple, so anticlimactic, but in that moment, everything changes. You are no longer an observer. You are a participant. You are in the market. Every tick up sends a jolt of euphoria through your veins. Every tick down tightens a knot in your stomach. You're not watching a chart anymore. You're watching your future fluctuate in real time. You minimize the window, telling yourself you'll check it later, that a watched pot never boils. But you can't. You open it again 30 seconds later, then 10, then 5. You are tethered to the screen by an invisible electric cord. This isn't just an investment. It's a referendum on your intelligence, on your decision, on you. And you have no idea that this cord, this tether, is the first chain in a long, heavy set that you are forging for yourself. You think you're chasing freedom, but you've just taken your first step into a prison of your own design. The door has clicked shut behind you, and the only sound you can hear is the siren's call of the charts, promising you everything while demanding nothing less than your soul. You think this is the beginning of your great adventure? You're right, but it's not the adventure you were sold. Not even close. Chapter 2. The Deception of Beginner's Luck. And then it happens. The chart moves in your favor. That little green number next to your position, the one representing your unrealized profit and loss, P&L, starts to climb. It goes from a few dollars to a few dozen. Then it crosses the $100 mark. A surge of pure, uncut adrenaline hits you so hard it almost makes you dizzy. It's a feeling unlike any other. It's not like a paycheck, which is a predictable reward for your time. It's not like a gift, which is unearned. This is different. You willed this into existence. You saw the future just for a moment, and you were right. You decide to sell, to lock in the profit. You click the button, and just like that, the trade is closed. Your account balance is now higher than it was before. You did it. You actually pulled money out of the ether, out of the chaotic noise of the market. You stare at the realized gain. It's real. It's your money. You can withdraw it, spend it, do whatever you want with it. You lean back in your chair, a slow smile spreading across your face. The feeling is intoxicating. It's a cocktail of pride, genius, and power. You're a genius, a natural-born market whisperer. All those people who say trading is hard, they just don't have the knack for it. They don't see the market the way you do. They're the suckers, the dumb money. But you're different. This is the most dangerous moment in a trader's life. Far more dangerous than any loss. This is the poison of beginner's luck. Because now you believe. You don't just think you can do this, you know you can. The evidence is right there on your screen. You start looking for the next trade immediately. The patience you had, the meticulous research you did for the first trade, it feels slow and unnecessary now. You've got the magic touch. You start seeing setups everywhere. That stock looks like it's breaking out. This currency pair looks like it's reversing. Your analysis becomes looser, more intuitive, more arrogant. You place another trade, and they work too. Maybe smaller wins, but they're still wins. Your account balance creeps higher. You start calculating. If I can make $200 a day, that's $1,000 a week. That's $52,000 a year. That's more than my job. The math becomes a fantasy, a tangible projection of your new life. You start mentally spending the money, the new car, the vacation, paying off your debts. You're not just trading anymore. You're building your empire, one tick at a time. You start talking about it. Maybe not in detail, but you drop hints to your friends or your partner. You use the jargon. You talk about market sentiment and resistance levels. You see the look in their eyes, a mixture of confusion and admiration. It feeds your ego, which is now growing at an exponential rate. You are the protagonist in your own movie, the hero who found the cheat code to life. What you don't realize is that you're in a market environment that's forgiving. A strong bull market, perhaps, where everything is going up. A rising tide lifting all boats, including your rickety, overconfident raft. You mistake a favorable environment for personal skill. It's like learning to surf on a perfect, gentle 2-foot wave and thinking you're ready to conquer mavericks. The market is giving you a series of carefully placed treats, like a trainer conditioning an animal. It's building your confidence, reinforcing your behavior, lulling you into a state of blissful ignorance. You start taking bigger risks. Why trade with just one contract when you can trade with 5? The potential reward is 5 times greater. Your concept of risk management becomes warped. It's no longer about capital preservation. It's about maximizing gains. The fear you felt on your first trade is completely gone, replaced by an unshakable confidence. Fear is for losers, for the sheep. You're a wolf. You are walking blindfolded and smiling straight towards a cliff's edge. You can't see it because your eyes are filled with the light of your own perceived brilliance. Every winning trade is another step closer to the void. You've become convinced that the market is a simple input-output machine. You do your analysis, you click a button, and money comes out. You believe you've mastered the cause and effect. But the market is not a machine. It's a chaotic, adaptive system powered by the collective fear and greed of millions of people just like you, and it has no memory. It doesn't know you exist. It doesn't care that you were right 3 times in a row. It owes you nothing. This period of success isn't a testament to your skill. It's a setup. It's a trap. It's the market's way of fatting you up, making you complacent and arrogant before it delivers the lesson it delivers to everyone, without exception. The lesson you are not, in any way, prepared to learn. The lesson is coming, and it will not be gentle. Chapter 3. The Crack in the Mirror. It starts with a trade that feels just like the others. It has the same signature, the same look of a winner. You've done this a dozen times now. You enter the position with the casual confidence of a seasoned pro. You might even feel a little bored by it all. It's become routine. You place your trade, and you expect the familiar, pleasant dopamine rush of seeing the green numbers appear. But they don't. Instead, a small, red, negative number shows up. It's fine, no big deal. The market fluctuates. It's probably just a little pullback before the real move. You've seen this before. You hold. You're a trader, not a nervous amateur. You trust your analysis. But the red number gets bigger. The knot in your stomach, the one you haven't felt since that very first trade, returns. But this time, it's different. It's tighter. Annoyed. How dare the market do this? It's not following the script. This is wrong. It's an anomaly, a glitch. The loss grows to a point where it erases the profits from your last 2 trades. The annoyance curdles into anxiety. The confidence that was your armor just minutes ago now feels thin and brittle. You start staring at the chart, trying to will it to turn around. You zoom in, you zoom out. You add another indicator, hoping it will tell you what you want to hear, that you're still right, and this is just temporary noise. But the new indicator just confirms the ugly truth. The price is moving decisively against you. Doubt begins to whisper in your ear. Did I miss something? Was the setup flawed? But your ego, fat and happy from the recent wins, shouts it down. No, the analysis was perfect. The market is just being irrational. It will come to its senses. So you hold on. You hold on past the point where your original plan, if you even bothered to make one, would have told you to exit. You don't have a predefined stop loss, or if you do, you mentally move it. I'll just give it a little more room to breathe, you lie to yourself. This isn't a strategic decision, it's an emotional one. It's a desperate plea. The loss is now equal to a week of your projected income. The fantasy life you were building in your head starts to flicker and dim. The smug confidence you felt is gone, replaced by a cold, clammy fear. Your breathing is shallow. Your focus narrows until the entire world is just that bleeding red number on the screen. It's mocking you. It's a digital accusation of your failure. And then you do something you swore you'd never do. You average down. You buy more. The logic is so seductive, so beautifully flawed. If I liked it at that price, I should love it at this lower price. I can lower my average cost, and I'll only need a small bounce to get back to break even. This isn't trading. This is praying. You're not adding to a winning position. You're feeding a losing one. You're throwing good money after bad in a desperate attempt to fix your first mistake. But the market, in its infinite and impersonal cruelty, keeps falling. Your position size is now dangerously large. Your loss is accelerating. The small crack in the mirror of your self-perception, the image of you as a trading genius, is starting to spiderweb across the entire surface. With every kick against you, another piece of that image shatters. The fear turns into panic, the cold sweat, the racing heart, the feeling of being trapped. You can't eat. You can't think about anything else. You check the chart on your phone every 30 seconds. Your interactions with your family are sharp, distracted. You're physically present, but your mind is in a digital prison being tortured by a number. Finally, you can't take it anymore. The pain is too great. The loss has reached a size that feels catastrophic. With a trembling hand and a feeling of profound self-loathing, you click the button to close the trade. You liquidate. You accept the loss. Silence. The red number is gone, replaced by a much smaller account balance, a balance that reflects a brutal, undeniable truth. You look at the final, realized loss. It's a staggering figure. It represents weeks, maybe months of your real-world work. Gone. Vanished in a matter of hours because you were arrogant, because you were undisciplined, because you were wrong. You stare at the screen, at the reflection of your own face in the dark monitor. The genius is gone. The market whisperer is gone. All you see is a fool, an imposter. The crack in the mirror has shattered it completely, and for the first time, you're seeing the person who was really there all along, and you hate what you see. This is the first taste of the dark side. It's the taste of humility forced upon you in the most violent way imaginable, and your reaction to this moment will determine your entire future. Chapter 4. The Poison of Revenge. The silence after that catastrophic loss is deafening. It's a void filled with a toxic brew of shame, anger, and disbelief. You replay the trade over and over in your mind, a masochistic loop of your own failure. Every decision point, every moment of hubris, every chance you had to get out with a small loss, you see it all with perfect, painful clarity. The shame is crushing. How could you have been so stupid, so arrogant? The image of yourself as a savvy market operator lies in ruins, and you feel like a complete and utter fraud. You think about the money you lost, and it makes you physically ill. You mentally calculate how many hours you'll have to work at your real job to earn that back. The thought is exhausting, demoralizing. But then, another emotion begins to bubble up through the shame, a hotter, more volatile emotion, anger. It's a desperate, defensive anger. It wasn't your fault. It couldn't be. The market was manipulated. It was a stop-loss hunt. It was an irrational move that defied all logic. You were right, but the game was rigged. You project the blame outwards because turning it inwards is simply too painful to bear. And right there, in that cauldron of anger and blame, a new, poisonous idea is born: revenge. You're not going to let the market beat you. You're not going to walk away with your tail between your legs. You are going to get your money back. Not just get it back, you're going to take it back from the market. It's personal now. It's a duel. This is the birth of the revenge trader. You are no longer a speculator assessing probabilities. You are a wounded animal lashing out. All semblance of strategy, patience, and discipline evaporates. Your only goal is to inflict a wound on the market that is equal to the one it inflicted on you. You deposit more money into your account, money you probably can't afford to lose. It might be from your savings, a line of credit, even a cash advance on a credit card. The act of depositing the money feels like reloading a weapon. You're going back into the fight. You jump back into the market almost immediately. You're not waiting for a high probability setup. You're not following your plan. You're hunting. You're looking for action. The screen is no longer a source of information. It's your adversary's face, and you want to punch it. You take a trade that's the polar opposite of the one you just lost on. The market went down? Fine. Now you're going to short it. You're going to bet on it going down further. There's no analysis behind this. It's pure, raw emotion. It's a desperate, "I'll show you." And because you are fueled by anger, you trade far too big. Your position size is reckless. You want to make the money back fast. You don't have the patience for small incremental gains. You want one big, glorious, vindicating trade that will instantly erase the pain and restore your shattered ego. You want to go from zero back to hero in a single bound. You watch the P&L with a ferocious intensity. Every tick in your favor is a small taste of victory, a confirmation that your vengeance is justified. Every tick against you is a personal insult, stoking your anger even further. You're not thinking clearly. Your cognitive functions have been hijacked by your amygdala, the primal fight-or-flight part of your brain. You are, for all intents and purposes, trading while intoxicated, drunk on rage and desperation. The trade might even work for a bit, giving you a fleeting, dangerous dose of hope. But more often than not, a trade born from such emotional turmoil is doomed from the start. You're late to the move, You're oversized, and you have no coherent plan for managing the position. When it starts to go against you again, a new kind of horror dawns. You're not just losing again, you're losing the money you just deposited to fix your last loss. The hole is getting deeper. The panic that you felt before returns, but this time it's 10 times worse. It's amplified by the fresh memory of the last disaster and the sickening realization that you're doing it again. You might double down again, a frantic, all-in move like a poker player on tilt. You might close the trade for another staggering loss, compounding your financial and psychological damage. Or you might just freeze, paralyzed, watching the train wreck happen in slow motion, unable to look away, unable to act. This is revenge trading. It's financial self-harm. It's setting your own house on fire to get warm. It almost never works. Instead of getting your money back, you lose more. Instead of healing your ego, you shatter it into even smaller pieces. You end the day not just with a depleted account, but with a depleted soul. The anger gives way to a profound, empty despair. You've now proven to yourself that not only can you make a colossal mistake out of arrogance, but you can also make an even bigger one out of anger. You've discovered a new, deeper layer of the dark side. You've learned that the market can't be beaten into submission. It can't be intimidated. It will absorb your anger, your desperation, your revenge, and your money with the same cold, mechanical indifference. It feels like a personal vendetta, but the terrifying truth is, the market doesn't even know you're there. And this lesson, this second wound, is often the one that truly breaks a trader. Chapter 5. Living with the Ghost. So here you are. You've survived the crucible. You've faced the margin call, rebuilt your psyche, forged your armor, and learned to dance in the fog. You've redefined victory itself. You are a professional. Disciplined, patient, process-oriented. You've made it. You've conquered the dark side. Right? This is the final, most subtle lie, the last great trap, the belief that you can ever fully conquer the dark side. You can't. The ghost never leaves. The person you were, the arrogant god, the fearful imposter, the revenge trader, the addict, he doesn't die. You don't vanquish him in a final heroic battle. You just learn to manage him. He is a permanent passenger, a ghost that lives within you, waiting for a moment of weakness. There will be days when you are tired, stressed from something in your personal life, or coming off a string of unexpected losses. On those days, you will hear his whisper. After a frustrating loss, the ghost will lean in and say, "Just one more trade. Win it back. You know you can." After a huge, unexpected win, he'll whisper, "You see, you are a genius. You don't need the rules. Double your size. Let's make some real money." When the market is slow and boring, he'll hiss, "This is pointless. Let's find some action. Let's take a flyer." He will always be there. The dark side of trading psychology is not a place you visit and leave. It's a landscape that becomes a permanent part of your own internal geography. Your discipline, your plan, your journal, these are not weapons that killed the monster. They are the walls of the cage you have built to contain him. And you must maintain that cage every single day for the rest of your career. Success as a trader is not a static destination. It is a dynamic process of perpetual self-awareness and self-management. It is the conscious daily choice to listen to the voice of your plan instead of the voice of the ghost. Some days it will be easy. You'll be in a state of flow, and the ghost will be silent. On other days, it will be a fight. You will have to physically push yourself away from the computer. You will have to close your platform and go for a walk. You will have to reread your trading plan and remind yourself of the pain that caused you to write it. You will have to look at the scars from your blown account and remember the price of letting the ghost take control. This is why trading is often called the hardest way to make easy money. The mechanics can be learned. The strategies can be simple. But the real work, the endless work, is managing the enemy within. It requires a level of honesty, humility, and vigilance that most people cannot sustain. Your journey hasn't been about learning how to read charts. It has been about learning how to read yourself. The market was never the puzzle. You were. And you are a puzzle that is never fully solved. So don't celebrate your victory over the dark side. Instead, learn to live with it. Acknowledge the ghost, know his voice, understand his temptations, respect his power. And every single morning when you sit down at your desk, make the conscious decision to put your plan, your process, and your discipline in the driver's seat. You came here looking for a secret, a key to unlock the riches of the market. But the only secret is this: the market is a mirror. It will show you who you are, in all your glory and all your brokenness. The dark side you were not ready for was never in the charts. It was inside you all along. And your greatest and most enduring trade is the one you place every day against your own worst instincts. That is the only trade that truly matters. And it is a trade that never ends. Chapter 6. Learning to Dance in the Fog of Uncertainty. You've built the armor. You have your plan, your journal, your unwavering focus on process. You've done the hard internal work. But now you must take that armor and step back onto the battlefield. And you will find that the battlefield has not changed. It is still a landscape of absolute, impenetrable uncertainty. The difference is you are no longer trying to conquer it. You are learning to dance in it. This is the great philosophical leap that separates the amateur from the professional. The amateur craves certainty. They need to know what's going to happen next. They believe that with enough analysis, they can dissipate the fog of the market and see the clear path ahead. This need for certainty is the root of all their emotional suffering. The fear of being wrong, the hubris of being right. The professional, the trader you are becoming, has undergone a fundamental surrender. You have accepted, not just intellectually, but in the very core of your being, that the fog will never lift. Uncertainty is not a temporary state to be overcome. It is the permanent nature of the environment. You cannot eliminate it. You can only learn to operate within it, gracefully and skillfully. What does it mean to dance in this fog? It means you hold your own opinions and analyses very, very lightly. Your trade idea is not a proclamation of truth. It is a hypothesis, a what if. What if the price holds this support level and bounces? You are not predicting at will. You are hypothesizing that the probability of it bouncing is slightly higher than the probability of it breaking down, and the potential reward for being right is greater than the risk of being wrong. That's it. There is no ego attached to it. If the hypothesis is proven wrong, if the price slices right through your support level, you don't argue with it. You don't get angry. You simply say, hypothesis invalidated, and you close the trade at your predetermined stop loss. Your ego is not bruised because your ego was never involved. Dancing in the fog means developing a new kind of intuition. It's not the arrogant, impulsive gut feeling you had before. It's a refined, experience-based pattern recognition. After thousands of hours of staring at charts, journaling your trades, and analyzing your own behavior, you begin to develop a feel for the market's rhythm. It's a subtle sense of when the momentum is real versus when it's a fake-out. It's a quiet inner voice that says, this feels heavy, or this looks explosive. You don't necessarily trade on this feeling alone, but you use it to augment your plan. It helps you decide when to be more aggressive with your profit-taking or when to give a trade a little more room. This intuition is not magic. It's expertise, earned through relentless practice and review. Most importantly, dancing in the fog means achieving a state of mental flow, a state of relaxed, alert detachment. You are not forcing things. You are not fighting the market. You are responding to what it gives you. You watch the price action unfold, and you wait patiently for the setup described in your plan to appear. If it appears, you execute your plan without hesitation. If it doesn't, you do nothing. You can sit in front of your screens for an entire day and place 0 trades and feel perfectly content, because you know that doing nothing is often the most profitable action. You are no longer a slave to the P&L. The flashing green and red numbers no longer have power over you. They are just information, feedback on your current hypothesis. Your emotional state remains constant, whether you are in a winning trade, a losing trade, or no trade at all. This is the Zen of trading that people talk about. It is not some mystical state. It is a hard-won skill, born of the acceptance of uncertainty. You've learned that you cannot control the market. You can only control 3 things: what you buy or sell, when you do it, and when you get out. That's your entire sphere of influence. Everything else, how far the price runs, whether a news event hits, whether you have a winning or losing day, is completely outside of your control. By focusing all of your mental energy on those 3 controllable elements and relinquishing your attachment to everything else, you find a strange and powerful peace. You are no longer stumbling through the fog, terrified of what might be lurking in the shadows. You are moving with it, adapting to it, using its cover to your advantage. You are light on your feet. You are patient. You are decisive. You are not fighting the chaos anymore. You are dancing with it. Conclusion. So here you are. You've walked through the chaos, the self-deception, the overconfidence, the fear. You felt the sting of loss that wasn't just monetary. It was personal. You've stared into the mirror and realized trading is not just about money. It's about you, your patterns, your demons, your strengths, your blind spots. And now you know. You know that the dark side isn't something to be feared. It's something to be respected, to be understood, because it's always there, just beneath the surface. Every time you click buy, every time you hold too long, every time you hesitate and miss the move. But you've also seen the other side, that with awareness comes choice, with clarity comes power. You can pause before acting. You can manage risk with real discipline, not just a spreadsheet. You can build a plan and actually follow it, not because you're trying to avoid pain, but because you finally accept that pain is part of the path. There is no arrival point in trading, no system that erases the need to manage yourself, no strategy that compensates for emotional chaos. You can master entries and exits all day, but if your mindset is reactive, fragile, or unexamined, it will all unravel eventually. But here's the hope. Every loss has been your teacher. Every failure a doorway. Every moment of doubt a mirror. And if you listened closely, not just to the charts, but to yourself, then you're no longer just a trader chasing wins. You're someone becoming aware, becoming conscious, becoming resilient. And maybe that's the real win no one talks about. So the next time your trade goes against you, pause, breathe, remember what you've learned here. The next time your finger hovers over the button in fear or greed, ask yourself, who's in control right now, me or my shadow? Because this game will always test you. But now, you're ready to face the dark side with eyes wide open. And that's when the real trading begins.